Hi there, everyone. It is currently the 6th of November 2011, and meteorologist Robert Spetta here with you today. We are looking at several areas of convection out here across the western Pacific, though, and first and foremost, starting off with a SLPA, or a shallow low pressure area, being called here by Bagasa, also known as Invest 99W, here being called by NRL. It is located over northern Luzon right now. I'm circling it right in here. There is some cyclonic circulation in this, and it is starting to deepen as it moves away from the coast of Luzon. Though here we could see some potential for tropical development over the next 48 hours by the early part of next week as it moves out here towards the South China Sea. And also we have this area of low pressure located over central Japan right now, moving off towards the northeast, actually bringing some rain showers out here across much of Honshu, and actually in the Kanto Plain area seeing some pretty dense fog. Actually in my location up here around Yokohama, seeing visibilities upwards about 1/2 of a mile across this entire region. Good news, expecting that to drift off towards the east away from Japan by the early part of next week, bringing in some cloudy skies, but for the most part not seeing very many rain showers until next weekend. But really, let's look back down here towards the southwest and talk about our low pressure area that is already bringing some heavy rain showers here across northern and eastern portions of Luzon. Actually, Bagasa stating the potential of localized flooding is there, and also a chance of some landslides out here in some of those steeper slopes along northern Luzon as well, as we see those heavier rain showers. But if we look at this closely, we do see some inflow coming in from the southwest that's associated with Invest 98 whiskey that's down in this region. Well, that looks like it's going to continue to draft off towards the Gulf of Thailand here over the next couple days. Not going to see any organization with that, but some of the moisture from it is being fed into this low pressure area up here towards the north. So at this time we are seeing that cyclonic circulation. Actually, you can kind of see it in the clouds here. If you look at this overall cloud banding coming in from the south and from the north, and also here on the eastern portion of the Philippines, you have that cyclonic circulation. So really about Manila is where the center of the circulation is with this, and you are seeing those widespread rain showers and thunderstorms today. But we're going to look at two different types of microwave imagery to kind of analyze this system. First, this is the 85 gigahertz out here, showing some of the higher cloud tops, specifically around northern Luzon. This is where you're seeing those heavy amount of precipitation. Also, you have some other banding right in here just north of Manila Bay, around Subic Bay here. You have some also very convective clouds. Well, if we look at the lower level from the 37 gigahertz, you really kind of see that banding up here towards the north, but also there's this widespread and kind of stratiform mixed in with the cumulonimbus clouds out here, and that's causing widespread rain up and down Luzon here as well. So really lots of banding associated with this right now, and also this higher convective cloud top. So definitely expecting to see those widespread rain showers as already noted here, and really that's what this overall analysis is trying to prove here. But also let's look at with the potential for tropical development out here typically about this time. If we look at the MGO forecast, tropical development shouldn't be too active out here according to this MGO. Actually around the western hemisphere out and towards the Atlantic, that's when it should be active, right? And that is actually one of the reasons why we have not seen any significant tropical systems in the past several weeks out here in the western Pacific. But with this one, it does look like it could spin up in the South China Sea. Where is it going to go, though? That's probably the big question everybody wants to ask. Well, given the streamline analysis, it does look like it should drift off here towards the west with the overall background flow. If we follow these arrows here coming from the east towards the west, and then eventually recurve off towards the north towards southern China. But there is a chance of this little ridge here along eastern part of China to drift off towards the southeast off here towards the Philippine Sea. And if that does occur, the system would likely wrap around, head over Hong Kong, and then skirt off here towards the northeast. And that is actually one of those reasons by next weekend you could see the potential for some more rain showers here across parts of Korea and towards Japan, as noted in the earlier part of the update. But here, if we look at the GFS model outlook over the next several days here, starting here on Sunday, the 00 Zulu, you do see this convection down here across Luzon. And let's go over the next couple days, actually extending out here towards about Monday and into Tuesday. See that circulation here just southeast of Hanoi? Well, that's this GFS model picking up on the potential for development. Good news, it's not really picking up any significant development. Therefore, given the model consensus and some of the conditions out here, you do have some vertical wind shear here. I'll show you that chart here in a second. I don't think this would develop anything more than a weak tropical depression if it does get that high. but it is going to bring the potential for some even more widespread rain showers here across Luzon, where you have seen a lot of flooding this season, and also the risk of some heavy rains to southern parts of China as it starts to turn off towards the north here. And this is actually what I was talking about, bringing some rain showers to Hong Kong by Tuesday. And then if we go into Wednesday, you start to see that low develop and turn towards the northeast behind that area of high pressure down here towards the southeast, and also the one over the Asiatic high over northwestern China as well, and that would drag this low off towards the northeast, pushing it up towards Japan. So just something to watch by next weekend. Here's Thursday, and then by into Friday you could be seeing those continuous rain showers to Japan yet again. But here's the wind shear chart I was talking about, showing about 5 to 10 knots of wind shear located over this low pressure area currently, although it is experiencing friction over the region due to the mountainous areas of northern Luzon. Those two are kind of constricting each other. Therefore, I don't think that low wind shear really is going to play a major factor until it moves away from the Philippines here. But by that time, see all this wind shear up here to the north associated with the westerly current and with the digging in of the jet up here towards the north as well. Well, that is going to start knocking over the cloud tops, and that is one of the reasons why it does turn rapidly off towards the northeast here and goes extratropical as it gets associated with that extratropical jet. So all those factors combined, I think the potential for a tropical depression, a very weak one, is there. I don't think it's significant. That is actually one of the reasons why Joint Typhoon Warning Center has a low probability of development on this system, yet there is a very low risk of it. So we're going to continue to watch this area here in the tropics over the next several days for possible development. But regardless if it does develop or not, we're still going to be seeing those heavy rain showers out here across northern Luzon, and as Bagasa put out earlier, there is that risk of flooding and the potential for landslides. So please stay safe out there, everybody. I'll continue to keep you updated and posted on this area of low pressure as it does continue to develop here over the next coming days. But if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please post them in the comment box below. And as always, stay safe out there, everybody.